This show is about your life, how to make it better, how to make more from it, how to love deeper, how to share it with others. This journey is about connection to your dreams, with topics centering on love, money, sexuality, and energy that unites it all. This show will change your life. For years, I've coached people in easy-to-learn skills, and I've seen incredible changes. I'm here to teach you those skills as a coach and hopefully a new friend. Hi, I'm Kyle. Come along with me as you move along your path of life success. Welcome to the Kyle Phoenix Show.
So, one of the things you can do is focus on things that you used to enjoy, or things that you might enjoy. Some of the things you can look at is places that you used to go to, or sports that you may have been involved in, or different activities that you may have liked. One of the things that I enjoy doing sometimes is just going to the movies. I'll plan it out on a weekend or sometimes a late weekday evening, and I'll go to 2 or 3 shows at a time. It's really, really interesting to have the experience of maybe seeing a couple of movies that you might like, comparing them, and just kind of having movie night to yourself, as there used to be double features or triple feature shows. That my biggest so far has been in seeing a triple feature. And it's really something. It totally changes your mood when you go see 3 different movies and you kind of juggle the times and figure it all out, and you figure out a lunch or a meal in there somewhere. It's really interesting. Kind of keeps you on your toes. There's a great list of other things you can do, which is coming up right now, which include spend some time in nature, going out to the park. That's a great thing to do, just walking through the park. You don't even necessarily have to participate. Here's another great thing that we're going to do a little bit sometimes when you look in some of the motivational shows, but here's a good thing to keep track of. List what you like about yourself. What is good about you? What do you enjoy about yourself? It can be physical. You can say, I have great legs, I like my hands. It can be mental, I feel I'm intelligent. It can be mental and emotional. I think I'm a good listener. I understand people well. You want to start having a kind of a practical list, and it's important to write it down. Anytime that you're trying to make physical change in the universe about yourself internally, you want to write it down. You can read a good book. I'm a huge Toni Morrison fan, and we're actually going to do a book club that I've done before, and some discussions about some of her work, and some other work too. So I'm always on the lookout for a great book, for a non-fiction book, for a fiction book, for an instructional book. Even one of my response videos, I'd gotten a book about YouTube and how to produce shows better. Watch a funny movie or TV show. I love What's Up Doc with Barbra Streisand. It is just a hilariously silly movie that's done with kind of excellent timing. So anytime I want to have just a funny, silly movie, I watch that movie. You can take a long hot bath, where you actually, whether you put bath salts in or bubble bath, or you just add some shampoo to it, that you can actually just relax yourself for 30 minutes, for an hour. Listen to music. iPods and iTunes allow us now to kind of create our own kind of playlist of music and the stuff that we enjoy in life. Take care of a few small tasks. If it's something like mailing some letters, instead of going to the neighborhood post office box just right up the street, maybe you actually want to walk to the post office. Maybe instead you need to fix something around the house, you want to go to the hardware store. Kind of getting involved with stuff. Great thing also, it's a great stress reducer, as well as has been shown to have wonderful beneficial effects upon stress systems, upon high blood pressure, upon heart conditions, upon mood elevators, is having a pet. So if you have a pet, you want to play with your pet. Instead of just walking your dog up and down the block, make a certain time to take them to the park for an hour. I used to have a Siberian Husky, and they're very, very kinetic animals where they just have to move a lot. He actually used to pace in the house sometimes when he didn't get enough exercise. So it kind of forced me to take him on sometimes nightly, hour-long walks. And what we would do is we'd go to the park, and I'd release him in this huge, dense park area. We could just run around freely and going out with him really kind of elevated my mood all the time, because I had to make a special plan to do so. I had to be ready, I had to be alert, I had to be dressed. It was sometimes raining, sometimes it was snowing, but the joy that he got out of it, or especially during the summertime, and I'd feed him bottles of water on the street, and he was just elated to be out in the world, that they kind of transfer that energy to you. So that's great too. You can write in your journal. I think it's great. I think it's important. I think it's kind of integral to living a life that examines a little bit, not only of life around you, but sometimes your internal stuff, your spiritual stuff, to have a journal. I often sometimes beat myself up because I don't write in my journal every single day, but I do make a point to have a journal. I've had a journal for, I think it's been definitely on since about 1990, so it's about 20 years now, of just consistently writing in this journal. And sometimes I look back on it, and sometimes I don't. There are some journals where I know they are full of some stuff that I don't want to even remember in detail. And then there are other times where I'm like, how did I get through that? How did I do that? How did I move from city to city? How did I learn about this thing? How did that relationship work out? What was I thinking? Where your journal is kind of an excellent review of yourself. It's like being able to roll back a videotape on yourself. Another great thing to do is not only with uploading things to different places like YouTube, but if you have a webcam, you could make a video journal of how you feel today, what you think today, what's happening, and just save it on your computer. I'm sure there are people out there doing this that are just kind of just reflecting, and it's just an easier way for them to do necessarily than writing. And then there's also doing something spontaneous. Like I said, going to an art show. Maybe there's softball in the park now. There was a day where I was walking through the park, and I went to the store. I try to take a walk that's about 2 to 4 miles a couple of times a week. I walked all the way downtown, found a great DVD sale, and was walking back uptown. I said, you know something? I always walk along the avenue. This time I'm going to cut through the park. So I actually walked all the way up through the park towards along the west side of where I live, and there were people playing in the park, and there were barbecues and all this, and I kind of got involved in a little bit of a frisbee game that some kids were playing, because I just kind of just walked into it. So spontaneous things like that happen. Or a spontaneous thing, you can take $20 or $30 and go to Atlantic City. Just go to Atlantic City and say, you know something, I'm going to maybe have dinner, and I'm going to gamble $50. I've got a $100 budget for this. Just go to the Port Authority, get on a bus to Atlantic City, and just go. It's open 24 hours a day. You're an adult. You'll be fine. You could also go to another borough. Just go to another borough if you need to do something on a budget, and go to one of its famous sections, Chinatown, or you go out to Queens, you go out to Flushing, you go out just different places. There's some great Korean barbecue places out in Flushing. You go somewhere in Brooklyn, go to Coney Island, go out to Long Island, to some of the malls there. Just do something that kind of isn't something you would normally do, or is a really fun activity where you just kind of follow where the day kind of takes you. You say, you know something, I'm going to follow a person in a red jacket until I see a person in a green jacket. And wherever they pass by that I can afford, that's where I'm going to have lunch at. Those are kind of fun things to do with yourself that maybe don't cost as much, but kind of get you active, get you out in the world, get you out in the sunshine, get you out in moving your body around, get you out into seeing the world a little bit differently.